Welcome to Gray Matter Reports. Today, we decode the complex reality of events that unfold around us. The room is dim, a sterile environment illuminated by the cold glow of fluorescent lights. A single voice echoes in the silence. It is disjointed, mechanical, an echo of fragmented thoughts. This is the world of the antisocial profile, where communication breaks down and language becomes a puzzle to be solved. Echolalia emerges as a haunting refrain. It is the involuntary repetition of words or phrases, a mirror reflecting the chaos within. Each utterance is a clue, a breadcrumb leading into the labyrinth of the individual's psyche. It reveals more than it conceals, yet understanding eludes even the most seasoned professionals. Consider the case of Subject A. His dialogue is a collage of borrowed phrases, an arsenal of borrowed emotions. To the untrained ear, it sounds nonsensical. To those who listen closely, it is a symphony of distress. The subject's inability to formulate original sentences speaks volumes about his internal struggle. It is as if the words themselves are shackles, binding him to the very reality he seeks to escape. In the clinical setting, analysts pore over the recordings. Each repetition is scrutinized, dissected. Fragments of sentences emerge, revealing a disjointed narrative that hints at profound isolation. These utterances are not merely echoes. They are cries for help, masked in the language of detachment. The analysts sift through layers of meaning, searching for the underlying emotional truths hidden beneath the surface. Yet the challenge remains: how does one translate this cacophony into understanding? The struggle for connection manifests vividly. In moments of silence, the room feels heavy with unspoken words, with the weight of unexpressed thoughts. Each pause is a reminder of the chasm that separates the subject from the world outside. As the analyst leans in, the tension builds. The subject's eyes flicker, a window into a tumultuous sea of confusion and fear. The words tumble forth, sometimes jumbled, sometimes clear. They are the building blocks of a narrative that defies conventional logic. Every phrase is a brushstroke on the canvas of a fractured identity. The process is both clinical and deeply personal. The narrative unfolds slowly, like a flower blooming in the dark. There is beauty in the brokenness, a poignant reminder of the fragility of human connection. This is the essence of Echolalia, a silent voice crying out, desperate for recognition and understanding. Each repetition becomes a testament to the depths of the individual's experience, a glimpse into a world where communication falters, but the need to be heard remains unwavering. The room echoed with silence, each corner filled with the weight of unspoken truths. In the dim light, the subject sat, their expression a mask of calm. Yet beneath the surface, a tempest brewed. Observers noted the subtle shifts in posture, the flicker of an eyelid, signs of a mind wrestling with the void of communication. Echolalia, the involuntary repetition of phrases, manifested here in a troubling way. When questioned, the subject mirrored responses, not as a means of engagement, but as a defensive mechanism. Words tumbled out, disjointed and fragmented, a cacophony of sounds devoid of real meaning. Such behavior often signals a deeper disconnect, a struggle to forge genuine connections in a world that demands interaction. Clinicians refer to this phenomenon as a communication breakdown. It is a barrier erected by the subject, a protective shield against the harsh realities of their existence. The individual's past bore the stains of isolation, a life spent on the fringes, observing rather than participating. This detachment cultivated a unique interpretation of reality, one tinted by an inability to articulate inner thoughts and feelings. The clinical analysis revealed a pattern. The subject echoed phrases from media, conversations overheard, and even snippets of dialogue from a distant past. Each repetition served as a lifeline thrown into turbulent waters. Yet these phrases often lacked context, rendering them hollow. In moments of stress, the subject resorted to this verbal reflex, searching for a semblance of control in a chaotic world. Observations indicated that when faced with open-ended questions, the subject's responses became increasingly erratic. The language transformed into a jigsaw puzzle, pieces that refused to fit. The implication was clear. The subject was trapped in a cycle of reflection, unable to transcend their own narrative. As the evaluation progressed, it became evident that the antisocial profile was not merely a collection of traits, but a complex interplay of experiences and reactions. This individual had learned, perhaps too well, that genuine engagement often bore painful consequences. Trust was an elusive concept, one that slipped through their fingers like sand. In the end, the case conclusion was not about solving a puzzle, but understanding the labyrinthine pathways of the mind. The subject remained a silent voice, a testament to the fractures of human connection. In the stillness of that room, the echoes of their struggle resonated, a reminder of the invisible barriers that can define a life. The psychological bridge connects the conscious and the subconscious, a delicate span where words echo but do not resonate. An individual stands at this juncture, caught in the throes of echolalia, repeating phrases like a parrot mimicking its keeper. The utterances lack meaning, a hollow reflection of communication's true purpose. This phenomenon, often observed in individuals with complex psychological profiles, underscores a profound disconnect. Language, the fundamental tool of human interaction, becomes a weapon of isolation. As the individual engages in repetitive speech, a rift expands. Their thoughts are entangled, ensnared in a web of anxiety and disconnection. To the observer, this behavior appears bizarre, yet it is rooted in a desperate attempt to bridge a gap between intention and understanding. Echolalia serves as both shield and prison. The subject's repeated phrases are not mere echoes. They are fragments of a struggle, a plea for comprehension. Within this cycle, the individual may seek validation, yet the responses they receive often fall short. The outside world, unaware of the internal chaos, offers clinical assessments that only deepen the sense of alienation. The mind, a complex tapestry, weaves patterns from trauma and experience. For some, the threads fray and tangle, leading to communication breakdowns. The bridge, once sturdy, now sways under the weight of misunderstanding. Each utterance becomes a stone cast into a vast chasm, creating ripples without ever reaching the other side. In the realm of psychological profiling, understanding echolalia is imperative. It reflects a narrative of an individual's life, marked by unmet needs and unfulfilled connections. The disconnect is not merely linguistic, it is emotional. Individuals trapped in this cycle express a yearning for clarity, yet find themselves lost in a fog of repetition. Clinical analysis reveals that these patterns often emerge from early developmental experiences. The absence of nurturing dialogue can lead to a stunted growth of communicative skills. The subject may cling to phrases heard in childhood, echoing back like a haunting refrain. This is not merely mimicry, it is survival. As the individual navigates this landscape, they remain on the psychological bridge. Each step is precarious, each word a tentative exploration of self. The bridge, though fragile, holds the potential for connection. With the right support, these silent voices may yet find clarity, transforming echoes into meaningful exchanges. In this somber journey, the path to understanding remains elusive, yet not unattainable. The silence stretches thick and suffocating. In the dim confines of the observation room, the walls seem to absorb the echoes of unspoken words. Each individual who steps into this space carries a story, yet many remain trapped in a labyrinth of their own making. The clinical atmosphere is punctuated by the hum of machinery, a constant reminder of the separation between thought and expression. Echolalia, a phenomenon often misunderstood, becomes a lens through which we examine the complexities of communication breakdown. An individual may mirror phrases, repeating them not out of comprehension, but as a desperate attempt to connect. These utterances, devoid of context, resonate with the haunting quality of a ghostly echo. They hint at a deeper dissonance, a struggle to articulate the inexpressible. In cases of antisocial profiles, the patterns of communication shift in alarming ways. The superficial charm can mask a cavernous void where empathy should reside. Here, the individual may engage in conversations that lack genuine emotional exchange, often veering into repetitive phrases that serve no purpose but to fill the silence. The words become tools, wielded to manipulate rather than to convey. This clinical detachment reveals the paradox of language, a powerful vehicle for connection, yet a barrier for those ensnared by their own psyche. The individual's voice may carry the cadence of normalcy, but the content betrays a profound disconnect. Each articulation is a cry for help, an inadvertent admission of their inner turmoil. The silence that follows their utterances is deafening. As we delve deeper, we consider the neurological underpinnings of echolalia. Brain structures responsible for language processing may malfunction, leaving the individual stranded in a sea of confused signals. This neurological misfire is akin to a misaligned compass, rendering them unable to navigate the complex landscape of human interaction. Their words, once a bridge to understanding, become stumbling blocks. The implications are vast. Understanding these communication breakdowns is not merely an academic exercise. It is a crucial step toward unraveling the intricate tapestry of human behavior. Each interaction becomes a window into the soul, revealing the frailty that lies beneath a hardened exterior. These moments, heavy with unspoken despair, offer a glimpse into the depths of human experience. In the end, the deep dive reveals a stark truth. The voices that struggle to be heard echo not just in the chambers of the mind, but resonate through the lives they touch. This exploration, somber yet enlightening, sheds light on the shadows that linger in the spaces between words. Each silence holds a story. Each echo is a testament to the complex interplay of communication and isolation. The world spins in silence. Voices echo in the chambers of the mind, yet they are often unheard. This is the realm of the antisocial profile, a labyrinth of disconnection. Across continents, the phenomenon of echolalia manifests differently, yet its essence remains unchanged. A mirror reflecting the fractured communication pathways within individuals. In urban sprawls and rural enclaves alike, the struggle for connection is palpable. The antisocial profile often exhibits a facade of normalcy, while beneath the surface lies a tumultuous sea of confusion. Echolalia becomes a coping mechanism. Words repeated, phrases parroted, but meaning lost in translation. It is a silent scream, an attempt to bridge the chasm of isolation. Consider the individual in a bustling city. They walk among the crowd, yet remain untouched by the warmth of human interaction. Their speech oscillates between rehearsed lines and disjointed fragments. Each utterance is a bid for attention, a cry for understanding. However, the responses they receive often lack depth. The disconnection broadens. In contrast, a rural setting provides a different backdrop. Here, language is often steeped in tradition, yet the individual remains an outsider. Their echolalic tendencies are met with suspicion. The community, bound by shared narratives, struggles to comprehend the silent voices that linger just beyond the periphery. Misunderstanding breeds isolation. Across borders, cultural nuances shape the perception of communication breakdown. In some societies, the emphasis on collectivism can amplify the sense of alienation for those with antisocial profiles. Words become weapons, used to either exclude or include. The individual fights a dual battle, navigating societal expectations while grappling with their own internal chaos. Clinically, echolalia serves as a window into the complex workings of the mind. It is not merely a repetition of sounds, it is an intricate dance of cognitive dissonance. The individual's brain may be firing on all cylinders, yet the output is jumbled. Biological evidence indicates that these patterns can stem from developmental disruptions or environmental factors. Each case tells a story, one of unmet needs and unspoken fears. The global perspective reveals a tapestry woven with threads of misunderstanding. Whether in the shadow of a towering skyscraper or the expanse of a quiet field, the silent voices persist. They call out for recognition, for empathy, yet often receive only echoes in return. In this vast landscape of human experience, the challenge remains. How do we listen to what is not said? How do we bridge the silent divide? The courtroom buzzed with an electric tension. Eyes darted, breaths held. This was the moment. The final verdict loomed like a dark cloud, casting shadows over the lives entwined in this intricate web of communication breakdowns. A hush fell as the judge prepared to speak. Seated at the defendant's table, the individual displayed a facade of calm, yet beneath the surface, a maelstrom of emotion swirled. The echoes of past testimonies hung heavy in the air. They were not mere words. They were the remnants of a fractured psyche, each syllable a reflection of an antisocial profile struggling to bridge the chasm of understanding. The prosecutor stood, their voice sliced through the silence, clinical and unwavering. We present a case conclusion rooted in behavioral analysis. Each word felt like a scalpel, dissecting layers of complexity. This individual has exhibited patterns of echolalia, a profound communication breakdown. The term echoed, reverberating through the minds of those present. Echolalia, a term often shrouded in misunderstanding. To the untrained ear, it might seem merely a repetition of words, an eccentricity. Yet, in the realm of psychological evaluation, it represented something far deeper. It signified a struggle to communicate genuine thought, a reliance on the words of others to navigate a world rife with ambiguity. It was a mirror reflecting an inner turmoil, a defense mechanism against the chaos of the external environment. As the defense attorney rose, they countered with a somber gravity. We must consider the biological evidence of trauma, the early experiences that shaped this individual. Their voice dipped into a softer spectrum, invoking empathy. What is the cost of communication breakdown? It is the loss of identity, a disintegration of self that leads to repeated patterns. The audience shifted, some visibly moved, others skeptically raising their brows. The judge's gavel struck, a finality that resonated deeply. We are not just evaluating actions, we are examining the very essence of human connection. The weight of those words lingered. The final verdict was not solely about guilt or innocence. It was an exploration of how fractured communication can lead to devastating consequences for all involved. With a heavy heart, the courtroom held its collective breath. The individual, a reflection of society's shadows, awaited the decision that would define their existence. In this somber moment, the silent voices of the antisocial profile echoed louder than ever, a reminder that understanding requires more than mere judgment. It demands compassion and insight into the complexities of the human mind.